Welcome all to Let's Get It, where we attack today's local or national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it.
Welcome all to Let's Get It. How we all doing tonight here on a beautiful Monday night? Coming to you, haven't been on in a while. Coming to you, we have a great show ahead of us. Once again, we are going to be discussing again the end of the Sixers season, the current NBA Finals. We got baseball season in full swing. A lot to get into today. A lot to get into tonight. As always, I'm with Marcus Bullock and Jason Bryce. Coach, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, man. It's been a hectic couple weeks with the summer, but everything's been going well, and you know, I'm excited. A lot to catch up on.
Absolutely, Jay. How you doing?
Yo, I'm good. I'm doing really well. I feel refreshed. Just got back from Florida, so you know, I had some sunshine in me. Not a whole lot, but enough. You know what I'm saying? Especially I don't like flying, so you know what I mean. But I'm doing well. Listen, have you ever go on a plane? Yo, just pay the extra bread to sit where you want to sit, yo. I sat in the last row of the plane.
That's like an hour difference in getting off the plane.
You're absolutely right, because you're the last person off. Everybody's emptied, is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the second last person getting off the plane, yo.
Oh, yeah. No, we're going down to Myrtle Beach in a couple weeks, and we definitely paid the extra money for the individual seat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Now, who are you flying?
I want to say it's American.
Oh, okay.
American Airlines.
If you had said Spirit, I'd say
look,
do it.
You know that I like to go cheap on many things. But there's some things I know.
No, you can't.
You can't go Spirit. You can't go Frontier.
Oh, well, listen. Right now, I mean, I got a very, very dear friend of me, a friend of mine, that is stuck on a Frontier plane right now.
Oh, good.
Seriously, like I prayed for her. Like they had like emergency landing because of the weather down there. So you know, so definitely we wish her some well wishes. You know what I'm saying? But Frontier I could do. Spirit, I can't do. All they take is the back rows. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. They don't have access to the 95 highway in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Though.
So instead of going to California, they're going like up through Idaho.
Oh
and down,
man, yeah, listen, man. Nah, I ain't doing it. I'm telling, and they land like this. That's how they land. Like, you know, Don't fly Spirit. I mean, I hope I don't get in trouble for that, but I'm just giving my opinion, you know what I mean? But other than that, yo, bro, I'm doing well, though.
Good. I mean, listen, lots has gone on since we've been on last. I think the first thing we never really got a chance to tackle was what our final thoughts on the Sixers' disappointing season in my eyes was. I think that we all know now the biggest talk is about, what's going to happen in this offseason, what's the moves going to be. I think a lot of people are saying, oh, you got to get rid of Ben. You got to get rid of Ben. You got to get rid of Ben. I don't know if it's going to happen. But before we get into all that, just Coach, what was your initial thoughts on how the Sixers season ended?
How I was depressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, especially after Game 5. Like, I'm not one that usually lets those things kind of bother me. Like, we talked about all the time how, like, and Jay gets on me, like, when the Eagles lose, it doesn't affect me at all. So I'm usually like that. Like, the Sixers piss me off when they lose, but I'm not usually like, it doesn't, like, Game 5 ruined my next couple days. Like, I was like, people were asking me, what do you think? I'm like, don't talk to me.
Right.
And then, obviously Game 7, like, it was just, you just never felt like we're going to win this game. And I think even on the last show, right, I think you said the same thing. Like, you never felt good about it. But look, I mean, there's so many things that went wrong. And we've always talked about all of our shows. We talked about how, nothing really matters till the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Like, we'll see who everybody is come playoff time. And I think, Ben showed himself a little bit. I think Doc showed himself. Tobias didn't step up like we really needed him to. So I think there's a lot of people that blame, and hopefully they can make some changes and for the better. I mean, if you want to get into Simmons talk, I'm fine trading him as long as we get an all-star back. We can't just trade him to trade him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jay, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I share the same sentiments as Coach. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was messed up. I actually had to, like pray on it a little bit. I went outside. I had to leave my job. I'm serious. I had to leave the job and go outside and pray on it because I had an attitude. I was pissed off. Yeah. Like you understand, like you know, I mean, I think I'm a person that sometimes I can wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit. But for my Sixers, you gotta understand, like, I've been a Sixers fan since I was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? I stayed up late at night in Staten Island to watch the game when they won the championship May 31st, 1983 on a black and white TV. They won the game at the Forum. So watching the Lakers on a black and white TV, you understand what I'm saying? There's no fucking color. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I know that.
But I'm imagining that, oh, that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, this is what I did. So when they lost, I'm like, oh, man, like, I'm hurt. Like, I couldn't believe it. So people were calling me. I'm like, dude, you know I'm not answering your call. Like, I'm not answering no calls right now. I do not disturb right now. You know what I'm saying? But I've come to, you know, calm down a little bit. And I don't want to trade Ben. At first, I was like, yo, get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? I think, matter of fact, shout out Coach Ware. He was like, yo, listen, what about your boy Ben? I'm like, yeah, his ass got to go. He got to go. But now I'm like, I calm down now. I'm like, yo, you know what? Yo, I'm good with him. But now I want to see how he responds. See, it's always about, you know, your letdown or everybody needs humbling moments. Humbling moments, you can't escape them.
Yeah.
But it's about how you respond to it. So everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Doc showed himself a little bit. You're right, Coach. Because I don't know how they just kept, you know, playing Curry on Herder. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? You made him like almost on, you made people like go in awe of him, and he's no better than Siakam how he was. Now, is Siakam great? No, he had one great moment, but he's okay. But I'm putting some onus on Embiid a little bit. Okay, because you know what? Even though he had great games or decent games, or whatever, I mean, he had like 8 turnovers, 10 turnovers. You know, he starts all his offense at the top of the key. So that stuff gets annoying to me, and that could go down to coaching too. Well, you know, so I did see a trade package though for Simmons when they were talking about Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, or whatever, and 3 first-round picks. Yeah, I mean, I like Buddy Hield. I mean, shout out Todd Jones was good. Like, that was his dude.
I love Buddy.
We had a comparison battle back in the day between Buddy Hield and Malachi Richardson, and I'm like, yo, Malachi gets busy. That's prime time.
Well, you might have had a little bit of
is right now.
A little bit of home cooking though for Malachi.
I ain't from Jersey. I just saying home cooking.
He went to Syracuse, so that's New York.
There you go. Okay. He went to. He was.
Yeah, that was the angle I was taking.
I know. Okay, I'm sorry. Yo, I'm a little tense right now. You know. But no. Yeah, I was on him for that. You know what I'm saying? But nah. You know, I mean, he's not in the league no more. So, but Buddy Hield is doing his thing. Like, he's a good shooter.
He is, but the thing is, I don't think that a package that surrounds Buddy Hield is enough to entice me at all. I mean, yeah, the 3 first-round picks are great, but at the same time, I don't think that is what we need. And I also don't understand, and I know these are all coming from different sources, people saying, a couple picks here, a couple picks there. I don't think Ben Simmons' value is that high. Like, if I'm a team right now, I don't think I'm giving up a starter and 3 first-round picks for Ben Simmons.
Well, I think
plus his contract.
I think what we have to remember is Ben had 4 subpar games. 4. I mean, if you take out the Atlanta series, act like that never happened. Ben Simmons is still an all-star player. Yeah. He's still
sure.
You know what I mean? So he goes out and what was a 6-7 game series, even just say that he had one bad series. So I still think that when people are talking about how poorly he played, and trust me, I understand how embarrassing it was still only one series. So if you know, going into the series, Ben was fine. Everything was fine. And then, and I think that just shows more than anything how mentally weak he is, that it took him missing, some foul shots and not wanting to get fouled, that now he's just, you know what I mean? Like, right. That's just how mentally soft he is.
Yeah. And I mean, I just don't know, like I said, I'm very torn on whether I want to get rid of Ben or not. Like, I couldn't tell you unless you get a package that surrounds me with a CJ McCollum or Damian Lillard. Like, I'm not really pulling the trigger. I don't think Damian Lillard's leaving Portland. I think that's a pipe dream. And if he does, I don't think he's coming to Philly. But like you said, I don't even think, like, if let's say we traded a Ben Simmons for, and throw it out there, a Buddy Hield and Bagley and 3 first-round picks. Does that really
Would you take out the 3 first-round picks and add De'Aaron Fox?
Well, see, De'Aaron Fox now kind of maneuvers that for
right. So and I agree
pushes
with
the
that.
scale.
You have to get somebody back that is on that level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't. I don't think you can do it for role players.
So then now we have to revisit this then, because if Ben is on a certain level, then what the hell are we giving him up for? Maybe we need to kind of nurture him a little bit.
Well, the thing is,
what is the big thing? Like, what is it that's making you say get rid of him? It's not where he's at basketball wise. It's more obviously a personality where you're feeling like, yo, this dude can't change.
I think it's a personnel thing. I think if Embiid's not on this team, I think Simmons can play on this team as he is right now.
Okay.
Because then he can go into the post and he can be down there. And I think part of like what you said earlier, how Embiid's starting everything from the top of the key, that's because Simmons is on the paint.
Right.
So he can't, there's no room down there. My thing is, and that's why I'm saying if we're gonna trade him, we can't get worse.
Okay.
You can't get anybody that's worse.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because I still think he does so many good things.
Right.
So I'm not. If we're gonna get Damian Lillard, I'll trade him in a second. I would have traded him last year for Damian Lillard. So it's not. That's for me. It's not a matter of because of how you played.
Sure.
It's a let's get better.
Right.
And that's the thing though too. I think a lot of Sixers fans and that just want him gone. There's still a lot of people that are like, I don't want to see that Ben on the court again next season. But like you were saying, you can't just trade him to get rid of him. You can't trade him because contract, and that's one of the things with Buddy Hield too, is that his contract is financially even with Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
you can't just do that because it's a financial reason.
I just hope that here's my thing. This is my last little statement on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just hope he's in the gym. That's my thing. I want you in the gym. I would stay with you at least until the trading deadline. You know what I'm saying? Because at least give him a chance to get his market up a little bit. Because everybody knows his market's down. You know what I'm saying?
The only issue with that is if he doesn't fix it, it's going to plummet.
But he could play. So, you know what I'm saying?
He can play, but the return value is still going to plummet. I agree with Coach.
I don't know. I can't. I mean, he's still an all-star, though. Like it's only plummeted now because he was in a situation where he had to demonstrate some other skills that he could not do. So if he's playing a whole season and, he's averaging what? What's he average? 17 or something like that? 16?
I think he was at 15.
Yeah.
Okay, 15 and what? 10, 15 and 10, something like that?
15, 8, and 8.
58. Okay, yeah. So, I expect him to hopefully grow from that or whatever. I just think that hopefully Doc and them, they're working on their games. So summer is the time to work on it, man. So hopefully he's doing it.
And it's funny because people are already knocking him when the playoffs are over. Oh, he's out at Wimbledon and whatnot. No, everyone deserves the time off. I don't care what you're doing a week or 2 weeks after the season. Like, take your time, do whatever you need to do to mentally refresh, and get back out there. I just think that people are tired of this Ben Simmons narrative. And how many times during the season did we say, I hope he's in the gym. I hope he's working on this. I hope that he's doing this. And I think that's what the thing is. And, that's where Philly fans have kind of had it with Ben Simmons. I mean, we'll see. I mean, and the other thing that bothers me too, and just kind of wrap up with the talk on the Sixers, is that people say, oh, this was our year. This was the year that if we beat the Hawks, we're getting there because, I don't even know if the Sixers would have beaten the Bucks necessarily. Yeah. And that's why when people say, oh, if we beat the Hawks, then we had a clear path to the finals. Well, I don't believe that.
I don't know. I mean, listen, you at least had a chance. The Bucks are decent. Like the Bucks are tough. But if they lose, I mean, you're still happy where they would have lost at.
Yeah, if they lost to the Bucks, say the 6-game series in the Eastern Conference Finals, you say, okay, you lost.
You can't say progress now.
Right, you can. And that's the biggest thing is that, with the process, you wanted progress and you expected more progress than what we've gotten so far. Right. So, I mean, we'll still see what happens come the offseason. I don't think you're going to hear, anything really one way or the other for a little while. But, with that said, and speaking of the Bucks, we got a pretty good NBA Finals happening right now. 3-2, Game 6 tomorrow night. So Coach, what are your thoughts on the series so far?
So I'll be honest. I didn't watch 1 minute of game one,
Mm-hmm.
game two, or game three. Now I watched the stats. I saw highlights after, but I didn't tune in at all. I think part of it was I don't like either team.
Right.
And it's not like I just don't care for either team. Like I don't like Giannis, and I don't like Chris Paul.
He's getting more and more.
So like, and I can't, and this has nothing to do with their game. It's their personality, that kind of thing. And I really don't even like Devin Booker, which people think is crazy because like the way he plays is like, I love it, but I don't like him. So that's why I haven't tuned in. Now, saying all that, watching game 4, watching game 5, they were great games. They're battling. The teams are both very good. The players are putting up unbelievable performances. Chris Middleton.
I think he's the MVP now.
Is he now? Before Jay, you were saying he wasn't a max guy. Do you still think that?
Did I say that? Yeah, I did say that. So you know what? I'll be honest with you. I have to apologize because sometimes I do this.
This is a breaking news moment.
I foolishly spoke because I like Middleton.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his now. Like he gets busy.
Yeah.
He gets busy. And even though they say, oh, sometimes he don't show up, whatever, he'll hit some shots that had me like, damn.
Yeah.
I was
he's been unreal.
He did something and then stepped back. And dude was in his grill. And all you heard was swat.
Yeah.
Like that's what got me excited about the Bucks team. I can't even front. Like I was rooting for them.
So
you know what I'm saying? I can't even front.
That's how I was because I didn't know who I was.
See?
Somebody, go ahead, Shay. Go ahead, Shay.
That was why I said the breaking news, folks.
Shay.
That's fine. Yeah. So I didn't even know who I was rooting for, and then that game 4, I turned it on. You just find yourself with somebody that's a shot. I'm like, yes. I'm like, oh. Right. So my son was like, oh, so you want the Bucks to win? I'm like, I guess
so. Right?
Yeah, see, that was the one thing about this finals that I thought was kind of good for the NBA was that unless you were a Milwaukee fan or a Phoenix fan, like you were just rooting for good games.
Well,
so you were tuning in.
No, we talked about this before. You know what I'm saying? Rooting for good games. I don't know if you could just watch a game and just say, oh.
No, I can't up until game 7.
It was a good contest.
No, I can't. I can't up until game 7.
So you don't root for anybody?
I root for what's going to extend the series in this particular situation. So like tomorrow night, I'm rooting for the Suns.
Oh damn!
I don't think I can do that.
When I don't have an investment in the which being a Philly fan is tough, but I just root for what's going to extend the series and make it better basketball or better baseball, whatever it is.
I don't think I've ever. I can't switch like that.
I can't do that.
So like I said, tomorrow night is the Suns. You're right though. It is getting difficult to root for Chris Paul. Like he's just complains and bitches.
Well, but you know what? I was rooting for him a little bit at first, but this gets lost. I was actually rooting for Monty Williams.
Oh yeah,
because you know what I mean. Like he really suffered a loss. Sure. He lost his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like that's traumatic. You know what I'm saying? So like I was really rooting for him. You know what I'm saying? I know. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, what up, man? What up? Really rooting. I really was rooting for him. And plus, I'm saying like, for him to push the envelope too, you know what I mean? But I couldn't help, like, I just like Milwaukee. I just liked them. And I liked Drew Holiday. Yeah. I liked Chris Middleton. I liked them. They were, I don't know. It's not even so much Giannis, but I like Giannis's determination more than I like Ben because they're kind of similar a little bit.
You were going to say a comeback story.
He's taking that shit.
Right. Giannis they would say, humbled. He went back in the gym. He got better. Now, I got to ask you this. One thing, Coach, because you said you don't like Giannis. What is it that you don't like about Giannis? Because, I think, I'm going to say off the court and all that, he's a great dude. On the court, obviously, what you're speaking of. So what is it that you don't like about Giannis?
Yeah, and I'll say this. He's turned my mind a little bit this series. He's been I like how he is he's very humble in his press conferences and things like that. So that's been a pleasure to see. But I think, I'm a big fan of skill. Right, I like guys who have skill.
Sure.
I was never I'm 5'11". I wasn't super fast, not super athletic. So like when guys are just freaks, which he is,
Right.
it's not his fault, and that's what his best talent is. Now, don't get me wrong, he can play, like he's got it.
So his skill is like a bully ball
His
type.
skill is just how his best skill is how athletic he is. I that like frustrates me
I got you.
when you can't shoot the ball.
That's the main thing. He can't shoot.
Well, the one other thing I was going to say is, and you mentioned it about a lot of people I'm hearing too, like they didn't tune into game one, they didn't tune into game two, and they haven't really tuned back in. And that's one thing too with the NBA extending out the season so long that now you have the NBA finals in a prime time when people aren't focused. You know, they're not focused on basketball, and you wonder, you know, if NBA needs to look at that and say, hey, like what can we do to shorten back up the season and get back into making sure it's done? Like I say, it's done by the end of June.
That's what it usually is.
You know,
and I think what they're trying to do is do that right starting next season. So I think they're going to get back to a regular season starting this coming season, which I'm sure the players are not going to be happy with because that means another shortened off season. But they have to get back to what it was. It's been this is just too much. The draft is next week. So, you have some of these teams that are trying to do so much, like these teams that are still playing, they have, half their resources still have to be devoted to the draft, which is coming up, next Thursday.
Yeah. And
Was that when it is? I was often wondering like when that is.
29th.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's late. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, and I drifted for a minute, but I'm really impressed. I mean, that was a great game the other night, man. And I'm not sure if that's what we were just talking about. I kind of drifted a little bit. I tell you, men can't multitask, man. You know what I'm saying? But that was a great damn game. That's what I'm gonna say. And shout out Drew Holiday, because he balls, yo.
Mhm.
He plays ball, and he could have been still our point guard, right? But I mean, that's many years ago.
Yeah,
I think you did the right thing by him.
Yeah, you did. It was many years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But listen, you know what? The Suns will have their opportunity. It's not over yet, though.
No,
It's not over.
no.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think it does go 7. And dare I say, they were a steal. If it wasn't for that steal, Phoenix was gonna win that game. They had all the momentum.
Yeah.
They had all the momentum. But back to your point about Giannis, though, and you're right about that. His best skill is probably his freak of nature, right? But you know what? I saw a little mid-range game
For
from
sure.
him,
He's definitely
and he was getting busy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But then, he had to dunk and won. Then he fucked the free throw up. But I think he got the rebound on it
tipped
anyway.
offensive.
Yeah. So I mean,
I guess for me, it's like this, and it's what you're saying. It's kind of like Shaq, right?
Right.
Shaq was super dominant. Shaq is arguably one of the best centers of all time.
right.
But if Shaq doesn't have Kobe, he never wins because he can't finish games. And that's Giannis. Giannis can't finish games. At the end of the game, Chris Middleton's going to have the ball. Drew Holiday's going to have the ball.
Right.
Giannis isn't going to have the ball.
Right.
So, and that's why that's why you can't be a top guy for me, because
yeah.
you can't, for 3.5 quarters, great. But then when everybody tunes in,
But he's got to work on that.
For sure.
Is he still young? How old is he?
27.
Oh, okay, all right. So he's got to work on that. I mean, LeBron. I think LeBron had to go through that same transition, right? Because he didn't want the ball at the end of the games either. I don't think he was ever scared to. Well, maybe in the playoffs he was a little bit, especially back then when skipping them was getting on him and whatnot. But Ben Simmons, he just don't want that shit. He
doesn't want to go. He just doesn't want to get fouled.
And Giannis did it. He did it the other night too. But that's smart.
That was smart
That
for
was
Giannis.
smart though,
Because
You know
they're
what I'm saying?
winning. I think that's the difference. You're winning. Let me
Right.
get the ball. Ben Simmons, we're losing, and you're passing the ball
Right,
when we have a dunk.
right. So
And I think that's the thing too. That image is just ingrained right now in so many Sixers fans' heads that it's like, I don't want to ever see that again.
yeah, it's not that. I mean, it's all good. I mean, it's not the reason it's not the reason they lost. I mean, because people talk about that play and it made it, and even Embiid talked about it. And that's why I said, Embiid, he's starting to come across like a little sucker. Like that's whack that you put your teammate underneath the bus like that. Okay, when you say, I thought that was the turning point in the game. Did you really? How about when you know what I'm saying, the game was what, 94-93. How about you was trying to make something happen? You turned the ball over, you got stripped by Gallinari. who never plays no defense, and he stripped your ass or whatever. So don't you go down what? It went down 4 or 6. They had enough to come back and made it 94-93. And then Thibault hits the dude in the back of the head. Nobody talks about that part of the game. You know what I'm saying? But again, again, the Sixers season is long over with. You know, listen.
But that also is a Philadelphia fan character fault. Is the tunnel vision? Is you take one thing that happened and then magnify?
Yeah, I don't know if it's tough for me to believe somebody. You can't diagnose the problem and have the problem.
I didn't know this all someone gave a support group.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think Embiid is pushing to trade Simmons?
I think so. I mean, I think
feel like that was an angle. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can say something like that without there being some kind of, hidden agenda towards your management of I can't play with this guy anymore.
Because if that's the case, then he's getting traded.
That's a good point. Right.
No,
that's a good point.
He's right. I mean, it's next year.
Good point.
It's next year. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think that, we'll see what happens, going with the NBA finals. It's going to go 7 games, but look, basketball is still going on, but that it's been my favorite time of the season right now. It's my favorite time of the season.
Baseball.
It's baseball season, and I'm excited about the fact that the Phillies are making a little run here. But the funny thing is that, I'm not overly excited right now, and I can't be. I can't be because I know what this team is. This team is a 500 ball club right now that's got so many holes and so infuriating. And, the debate now a lot is people saying, do they go for a trade deadline's coming up? Do they go for it? They go for it. First thing people have to remember is this is not a World Series team. It's not. But the other argument is, and I get that too, in baseball, you just got to get in. You got to get in, and anything can happen. I mean, if you look at the Phillies had an amazing offensive roster, in 2008, and they had. But
damn, what was that? 2008. Damn, you went back there.
That was the last time we won the World Series.
Was that 13 years ago?
Yeah, it's scary. They had an amazing offensive roster, and Shane's right. I mean, I am excited, but I have to hold it back because they had an amazing offensive roster and they had a good bullpen. And they had one starting pitcher, really. They had Cole Hamels.
Hold on. Who just said that? Shane? Right, exactly. Stop playing around. You're excited in a motherfucker.
But I'm excited. But the thing is, the thing about this team is that they've been so infuriating because they've had over 25 blown saves. And it's like you look at it and like, okay, yay, we're 2 games back of the New York Mets, and Yankees are coming to town tomorrow.
No, they're going to.
No, that's right. They're going to New York. Right. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think there's so many nice days out too. I thought about actually even taking a trip up there to go see the game or whatever. But I mean, the Phillies. I mean, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, how's Real Muto doing?
Well, it's funny you say that.
I saw something about him.
Was an all-star. I think, this year was kind of borderline if you ask me. And he hit a home run in the All-Star game.
Did he really?
He
okay,
did.
Good.
He did.
Good.
Good. I think if anything you got to talk about in baseball besides the Phillies and what they need to do is Shohei Ohtani and what he is doing.
Yeah. So what happened there with what happened with that whole Stephen A thing? Because he come out, you usually don't see Stephen A apologize a little bit.
And I was surprised at what he said. So basically, right now they're saying Ohtani is the new face of baseball, because he's the modern day Babe Ruth, and he is unbelievable to watch. And there's so many. That's it. Baseball is in such a good place in general because there's so many good young players. But he basically said you can't have a guy who is the face of your league who can't even speak the language and needs an interpreter. And and I get what he's saying. And I understand it.
I don't know if I get what he's saying. Though.
No,
is he saying because it's America's game?
Well, I think he's saying because people can't relate because you don't know what he's saying because everything goes through the translator. Right. So it's not like you can't relate to him.
Has there been let me ask you, has there been a minority that's been the face of the league?
Well, I think if you look at it, the real faces of the league recently, I mean, you look at a guy like Mookie. I mean, the thing is, you say minority, but they could all speak English. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just
I'm
just saying minority.
But the thing is,
there has not been a minority
here.
No, I understand. Again, I'm just asking. I'm wondering if that's why he had to apologize, because it borders that rationale or that angle that, hey, are you saying that minorities can't be the face of America's game?
And that's what I think. I think people took it.
America's favorite pastime?
Right. And I think that's how people took it. I mean, I understand how people got angry, and I understand people are saying that, Stephen A. Smith didn't mean ill intent by it either, because at the end of the day, I still think that, it's being America's game. And Stephen A. Smith knows that, like, this, holding on to it is still trying to hold on to it, and we're losing it. So I don't know. I still feel like it's hard. I didn't think he was that out of line. So, but I think that's what you said, Coach. Like, Mark, Marcus, you said that, it's hard, like, with coming through the translator,
right,
and having that. But
because even and I haven't really watched him much except for in highlights. But then I think there was the home run derby, or maybe right before the All-Star game, and they're interviewing him, and it's just it kind of gets lost because the reporter asked the question, and then the translator does his thing. Then he says what he says, and it comes back through, and it's just not. Like, I can give you that, like,
the interpersonalness.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that.
And I think this goes under one of those that may be true, but you just don't say that.
Yeah, you can't say it. Yeah, you just can't say it.
I think that's what
because it borders that. Yeah. It borders that. Well, are you saying that minority can't do this because of how it looks or whatever? You know what I'm saying? It borders that. It brings up that conversation. So I'm sure he's Asian? This guy? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the Asian community, particularly with what's been heightened in the Asian community, like you gotta make a statement. You have to make a statement. So he did that.
But it's interesting because, like I said, I haven't followed much baseball outside. And I'll be honest with you, Randy, my daughter is like into the Phillies now like crazy. I've watched more Phillies.
Can I get a clap it up for that?
Oh, absolutely.
I love it.
Come on.
I love it.
It's been a while since I did it.
So I've watched more Phillies, this last 2 months than I have since 2008. But even at the All-Star game, even Vlad Guerrero Jr. doesn't speak English,
and that's the thing, exactly.
So it was like, listen, reporter asked him a question, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is
baseball is not America's game.
Right.
Baseball is now the world's game and an international game. The majority of the best players, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Ohtani, Guerrero, like you said, Mookie Betts. These are all guys from other countries, and they're the ones that are pushing this game.
Right.
And, so that's the thing, and I think it's great. Like I said, there's so many young, good players right now in baseball, and they're fun.
Yeah.
And I know the other day too, like when they had the home run derby, which Pete Alonso ended up winning, and people were saying, "Oh, he shouldn't be dancing. He shouldn't be doing all this." Well, I thought that was fantastic because I go back to, I think it was the '97 home run derby when Griffey turned his hat around and was hitting with his hat turned around in Baltimore.
Okay.
And that was a moment that everyone just gravitated to and was like, "This guy, baseball is cool because of this guy."
Was he the face of the league?
Griffey?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely.
At one point.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you can find find me one baseball fan, casual or diehard, who didn't like Griffey.
I didn't like Griffey, and he didn't cheat.
Oh no, didn't treat at all.
Right. So yeah.
And I'm still the one. Going. That's the thing is, I'm still always want to know how his career would have ended up if he never had those injuries towards the end.
Oh wow! Wait a minute. Oh, I'm looking at. I just saw the comment. He said it doesn't border it. It absolutely says that. See, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. Like it does. With that comment, I'm just talking about that to that comment.
Yeah, no,
it does. Well, I mean, she's saying it says it. I mean, but that's still interpretation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta be careful with that.
I think it also can individually how you're feeling right now in a very high tense time, of racism and hatred out there.
It's always high tense time though.
Oh that's
what I'm saying. So
but now it's on the forefront.
It's just no. To me, it's just normal.
Correct.
To me.
Right. To everybody else, like I said,
I can't even. You gotta watch that lane. I don't know about everybody else. To me, And I think to individuals that may have the same experiences that I have, it's just regular everyday living. So, but now it is. I'll say it's. I guess you could say that I guess you could say that it's more. I don't want to say more on the forefront, but I guess it's just being more noticeable. I guess the same thing. I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, and like I said, I will never try to trust that line.
No, I know you can't.
You know?
You're not, and that's not what you're even saying. I know that's not what you're saying, but I just think that it's tough right now. It's tough.
I think Stephen A. did get a pass for being who he is in ESPN, though.
Do you think, on that note,
okay, that's
do you think there's a difference in being the face of the league and being the best player in the league?
No, it shouldn't be,
because I think there's a difference. I think
that's a good argument.
That is a great
and
argument.
I think that's kind of what he was saying. I don't think he was taking away from Ohtani's greatness and how good he is, or if he's the best player in the league, or what he's doing. I just think he was more speaking to who do the fans gravitate to.
But the face of the league should be the best in the league, like, right? Shouldn't that be that way? Like,
I think so too, but a lot of time, I mean, and that's single. Is it because sometimes they're not the best player, but they're the face of.
That's a basketball argument, I think.
I was going to say I was going to relate it because the face of the league in NBA is LeBron. But then people are, but then there's people who say that he's not the best player in the league.
Well, that's not.
So that's like, and that was the first sport that I went to.
But that's why he's the face of the league, though, right? Because he's the best
in the eyes. I don't think you have. Man, that's
like right now. Who would you say is the face of the league in baseball?
Bryce Harper.
Stop. Just stop. He's not even the face of the Phillies.
Who's the face of the league?
I mean, I guess
Mookie Betts.
I mean, right now Vlad Guerrero is making a big push. Trout's been injured, so
wait. So the shit changes every year.
I think baseball is one of those sports that it kind of does fluctuate between who's the face of the league.
That's what I'm saying.
Even excuse me. Go ahead.
No, that's what I think makes it tough, because the face of the league shouldn't change every year. Now it's going to change eventually. But like LeBron, if LeBron has a bad year, or like this year, LeBron was hurt, didn't have a great season, for LeBron standards, but he's still the face of the league.
Sure.
When Kawhi was on his tear, and people are saying it's Kawhi better, but nobody questioned who the face of the league was. They might have questioned who the best player was, but nobody questioned who the face of the league was. So I think that's kind of like the Stephen A. thing. I don't think he was trying to take away from Ohtani's greatness as a baseball player. I think it was more of who are the fans gravitating to, who do the fans love, who do the fans. That's what I.
Yeah, and I think that's what he was saying, because if baseball, is actually did really well in this All-Star game recently, a lot better than it had, and it's picking back up. But like I said, to be able to draw in a lot of the fans, it's relatable. It's relatable. And and that's what he was saying. Stephen A. was that, how can I relate to this guy if I can't even hear from him directly? And that's what I think he was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that he should know better after all the years in journalism.
Absolutely. And like I said,
he got comfortable with saying that. And probably comfortable in his position for even saying something like that. And I'm not saying, and he probably didn't even mean it with a racial undertone. I just think that you got comfortable and you had to get checked a little bit.
Yeah, and he did, and he like I said, his role on ESPN, he's I think their highest paid guy in ESPN right now.
I found out he's making like 12, 13
Oh
million.
My goodness. So, yeah. And and I think like I said, he kind of knew that he can say what he wants to say.
He's supposed to push the line.
Right.
That's what he gets paid for.
Well, no, but he should know as I hate to say it, he should know as a minority that you getting paid and everything. Yeah. But you can't be saying everything you want to say. Right. Now, you don't forget those lessons that you taught in the sandbox. No, you can't say everything. You know what I'm saying? But I think that sometimes you got to get humbled. I like Stephen A. I'm a big Stephen A. fan. I think he's good at his job.
Agreed.
I think he's worked his way up. People. There's different arguments. Especially with this whole, with Kwame Brown, which I haven't heard nothing, but maybe I haven't been paying attention either. So I'll leave that argument out there. But when he got engulfed in this whole Kwame Brown affair, or whatever, and in some ways, he might have been wrong or whatever like that. But I think that he's doing his job and he's very well at his job.
I agree.
He is. And like I said,
Right.
he's one of the things that you hate to love him. And that's kind of where I'm at with him. Because I will, whenever he's, featured and First Take and whatnot, I will watch him all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I may not always agree with what he says, but he comes with a lot of strong arguments, and he's
He's funny. I can't help but laugh when they was like, oh yeah, they traded something. So he said, "Are you kidding me? Is that a joke?" Like, he's funny though.
He is. But
He
that's
brought
all
a different
part of-
style. Like, to me, like, he set the trend. Like, how we talked about like Iverson. I mean, we haven't talked about it, but how Iverson, he set the stage for all these players to be expressive in their culture or their experiences. Stephen A's done the same. Kevin Adonde, what was it? Adonde, you know what I'm talking about? And all them other, Hannah Storm and all those other reporters, they weren't doing what they're doing until Stephen A got there with that type of personality or that type of delivery.
And I think to piggyback off of that, I think the Stuart Scott era started.
Actually, you're right.
You're right about Stuart Scott era started the.
You're right about
let's
that.
make this fun.
You're right.
Stephen A. Smith made this. Let's get loud about
Let's
it.
get loud. You're right.
Yeah,
It was Stuart. Yeah, shout out. Rest in peace, Stuart Scott.
But
Because it was Stuart Scott.
Listen,
You're right about that.
Stuart Scott.
But he was the one that took ESPN to another level.
Right.
When and I'll never forget. I know you guys are all in his speech at the ESPYs.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to that, it doesn't bring a tear to your eye. You don't have a soul.
Yeah.
But with that said, we're gonna run to a quick commercial break. We come on back. We'll continue this conversation. You're watching Let's Get It. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you don't know who I am. I'll see you. I know exactly where you're at. That's so you don't have to wonder and try to find out who I am. You will see who I am. I will tell you who I am.
Lady T's Elegant Creations, where everything is handcrafted with love. We specialize in personal and custom-made baskets, bracelets, candles, and more. So when you're looking for that perfect gift or just need a custom arrangement, don't hesitate to contact Lady T's Elegant Creations, where everything is handcrafted with love.
For more information, please call 609-531-1756.
All right, welcome on back to Let's Get It. I want to just kind of pick up where we left off because with the baseball talk and the anchors and whatnot. Going back to it, obviously, local with the Phillies talk, is that they got to make that move though. This is one of those seasons where it's kind of like the process for the Sixers in a way, because you signed the big names, you haven't had that success that you were looking for. You signed Wheeler, you signed Harper, you signed Real Muto, and you signed Archie Bradley, who's been a bum. But
you were rooting for him.
Well, I had at the time it was a good signing, but people are talking about now. What do you? At the time it was, but like you said, Coach, like your daughter's interested in it now, and I know because she's doing her thing with softball. Shout out to her because she is killing it from what I see.
Yes, she is.
They have to make that move. They have to make the move to go out, get a bullpen piece. A lot of people are looking at Craig Kimbrell over at of the Cubs, and talk about
Craig or Greg.
Craig.
Oh, Craig. Okay.
And the Phillies are at a point where it's kind of like that roller coaster for fans. They're coming up, and if they make that move, they can get over that hump and they can get the excitement. Because right now in this town, like I said, you're coming off the disappointment of the Phillies, of the Sixers. A lot of people are up in the air about what the Eagles are going to do. The Phillies have an opportunity to grab the attention of the town for the first time in a long time, and I think that they really need to do whatever it's going to take to get them over that hump.
Well, I think that I think that they missed that opportunity when they signed Real Muto. See, I'm still there.
This is the
No, I'm just saying though, because listen, you tied yourself up in a COVID era with all that money right there. Okay,
But money's not an issue. Money's not an issue.
All right, but listen,
Go
but
ahead.
I'm just saying. But then that left drastic vacancies that you couldn't address, that you've addressed with people like Archie Bradley. Archie Bradley came after you gave Real Muto the money, right? So then you can't go get those other, quality pieces like you want to
But
because
if you
you spent your money already.
If you don't have Real Muto, you're not in a position to trade for anybody else because
Well,
it doesn't matter.
Okay, so what is Real Muto's at? He's like 3 something. He's about 300 something. Or
No, he's 280.
that's what I thought. I thought it was like 260 too.
Yeah, like I said, last I saw like somewhere in that
Last time I
260,
saw it
280
was
range.
275.
275.
Yeah.
So 275. How many home runs?
10.
275
but
and
the thing-
10. I mean,
But the thing when it comes to
What the
catcher,
fuck
when
is
you
that? I
when
mean,
it comes to catchers though, and
I'm saying, but how much he getting paid a year?
he's getting 20 some million a year.
25 something million a year for 275 and 10. You mean to tell me somebody, a Joe Girardi type or a Jorge Posada type, couldn't have got you those same numbers or even better?
No, and that was the
For
argument.
less than that?
But the thing
Nobody
is,
out there?
that's the argument people do have. But the thing is, what Real
That's an
Muto
argument. I didn't even know it was an
no,
argument.
people did say that, but for Real Muto though, the thing is, what he does is not. We're not looking at him offensively. What he does behind the plate as a defensive catcher, his ability to control games, he's still up. He is still one of the best catchers
How
in the
many
game.
catchers are all stars?
Every year, you get two catchers.
You get 2 catchers. So there's
Yeah.
4 catchers in the All Star.
Yeah,
So he's one of the top 4 catchers in the league.
correct.
You know, here I like this argument better though, Coach. How many of those 4 catches is their teams in first place?
All right. Well, you look at it.
See, I like that argument.
His team's in second place.
They are.
It's not first.
Well, it is, but
I
it's
said first
but he
place.
can't. He can't. Like I said, he's doing all that he's been able to do. That's the thing is,
I'm not
baseball.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, see, the thing with the baseball is they can spend the money, and management has the choice to spend the money if they want to go over the luxury tax. That's the only thing stopping them from spending the money.
That luxury tax is a mother.
I don't give a shit.
Why don't you give a
I don't
shit?
give
Because that's your money.
because
That's why.
the Phillies, the Phillies organization.
It's not your
said-
money. You know that, right?
You're right. But the thing is, too, they have to remember from 2007, I think, to 2011, Citizens Bank Park had over 200 and some straight sellouts. So if you put a winner on that field, you are going to recoup your money tenfold.
People want to come.
That's what I say. People are going to want to come. And the people have to remember, and it was right. I was listening to it today, and they're right. Bryce Harper, that has now flamed out as far as the intrigue of going to see Harper. The stadium is not anything now. It's been around for, since 2004 it opened. So,
17 years.
I'm just saying,
Wrigley
that's
Field been
you-
around since before we was born and shit. They still going out there.
yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
Wrigley Field, Fenway, they're in a completely different league than Citizens Bank Park. Old Yankee Stadium, those are, so you need to do what it takes to put this team in the playoffs. And that's what they have to do.
I think you need better pitching.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think, and you guys are more baseball guys than me. They can't do something that's a rental. They can't mortgage
Yes.
young players for something to get them through this year. When like you said earlier, they're not a World Series team. I think they need to do, and we killed him for it, Daryl Morey type moves for that he made at this trade deadline to try to just get some veteran pieces, without mortgaging the future.
The problem too is that, and then you bring another thing, is the Phillies have had such a horrible drafting record, and their farm system, you look down at it, there's nobody there. So even
Why?
when people, because their scouting has been horrendous.
Or have they
Horrendous.
traded some pieces away?
No.
Or they didn't trade no pieces for Real Muto?
They traded Sixto Sanchez, who ended up actually being injured. But again, they've had the number 1 pick. Mickey Moniak doesn't look like he can play baseball. Scott Kingery now is not even on the roster anymore. They gave him $25 million. Adam Hazley, who was a first-round pick, not even to be found. Like, you have to hit on these guys. All the teams that are successful, the Padres, the Red Sox, they hit on these picks.
Well, I thought the argument was that you had to sign Real Muto because you mortgaged the future.
Well, you did.
But if you're saying the future wasn't shit, then what did you have to pay him for?
Well, the thing is, you still had to pay him. But the thing is, you there was no reason not to pay him. There was no reason not to pay him, and that's the thing. Money with this team, fans don't want to hear about money. Fans don't want to hear about, oh, well, we're not going to spend that, because the fans spend their own hard-earned money. 95% of these fans are scratching up, their money to be able to afford to come see you. They don't want to hear about it. And that's the thing, though, too. The Phillies, the Eagles, whoever it may be, fans in most cities, but especially Philadelphia, if you're winning, they will pour the money out there. So that's why I don't want to hear the Phillies talk about the luxury tax. I don't want to hear it. At this point, you are a middle-of-the-road team who's got to make that push. And also, let's say they do win the division this year, because that's the only way they're going to get in. If they're able to win this division, you can then go into next season with so much more people wanting to jump on with season tickets, wanting to come in and see this playoff team. And you can say, hey, we got back into the playoffs, for the first time in 10 years. Now we're going to take that next step. Your selling point is so much better going into next season.
How is the NL East?
NL East sucks.
So if they so in theory,
they're the best of the potentially the worst division,
right?
I mean, it's like the NFC East for the
okay. So then really, is it fool's gold?
Well, no, we talked about this during football season, making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And especially, like I said,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. You can't argue that.
Yeah,
that's true. It is. Making the playoffs is making the playoffs. I just don't know. I think you sign these big splashes for the attendance to recoup some money, and you haven't done it because you haven't put a winning product.
You're right.
You're 100% right. So maybe if you didn't make the big fucking splashes and you just put a winning product on the field, then you would recoup.
But they did. I guess what makes you think if they didn't sign Real Muto, who was the obvious good player, right? He's obviously a good player. Mm-hmm. He might not be as good as like his contract is, like you're saying. They haven't signed anybody else that's productive? What makes you think they were going to make the right? Why would they make the right move after that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said,
I'm just saying, has Real Muto pushed them over?
But the thing was, that wasn't the move that said, hey, this is going to be our championship.
I'm just saying. But honestly, I mean, you paying him the fucking money like it was going to be that. So
I think Bryce is getting the money. Like
I think right. And I think if you make the argument, I don't think Bryce has lived up to expectation, to be honest.
He's been hurt, right?
Well, he was, and people will say that. I mean, people will tell, look at his 162 game. But there's times where I'm looking at him like, Bryce, this is where I need you to hit this 3-run homer, this grand slam. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what the Fernando Tatis Juniors are doing. That's what Vlad Guerrero Jr. is doing. That's what Mookie Betts are doing. These guys are coming up, and I'm not saying that Bryce does not have good numbers, but and you
What's
still
need him. Is his numbers?
And that's the thing, though.
Was he an All-Star?
No, and he does not deserve to be an All-Star. He missed time. It's crazy.
Okay.
He's got 15 homers, and like 13 of them were solo home runs. It was crazy. So he's only got like under 40 RBIs, which is terrible. He missed time.
How many RBIs Real Muto got?
38, 40. Yeah. So, it's just they gotta make that move. Like I said, they gotta make some move.
I think you're locked with Bryce. I think sometimes. I mean, and we're just all playing GM right now.
Yeah,
right?
and that's fun.
So that now, if in order to gain more, you got to let go of some shit. Mm-hmm. So it's like the Sixers are a perfect example, right? You had AI and you had Stackhouse, and they were going, right? You know what I'm saying? And then Larry Brown said, "This shit's not going to work. I have to do one or the other. I got to pick one." So he sent Stackhouse to Detroit for who? George Lynch, Eric Snow, or some shit, whatever. And they wind up being, a great complementary pieces. So sometimes you got to have those pieces. So maybe you got to get rid of Realmuto while you feel like maybe his stock is high. But to get some, I'm just saying.
It's actually funny. That's not the craziest thought because
I'm just saying.
because but the thing is, you people have said that maybe because if the Phillies weren't where they're at now, because they went on a little bit of run, winning their 10 of the last 14, so they went on a little. And people have made that argument of if a team came to you and said, "Hey, we'll give you 5 or 6 top-notch prospects for Realmuto,"
Right.
do you consider that trade? And you kind of have to because your farm system is terrible. I mean, I think that a lot of people would then be up in arms. But if you go back and you say to me, "All right, we're going to trade JT," you're going to get that money off the books, and you're going to get 5 guys that in the next 2 years can come in and be contributors. Then yeah, but right now you can't trade JT because
but
you
I'm
have to
saying-
make the play. You have to make that push for the playoffs, and obviously trading JT's not because people are focused on the now. You gotta get pitching. You gotta get pitching.
But I just don't think that you make that move. Like maybe those moves got you in the position that you're in now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you keep making the same moves, then you're just going to keep being in the same position. So I get it, though. I mean, listen, they bums anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, baseball season doesn't even really. People say that after the All-Star break. I always like to say,
August.
let me know where you're at on even September 1st.
Well, definitely
August 1st, yeah, especially
that's when it's
it's
crunch time.
August 1st, give me that last 50 game push of the season and see where we're at, But baseball, like I said, baseball is in a great place in general. Like I said, with all the young talent overall, and it's fun young talent. It's fun young talent, and that's what baseball needs. Baseball is boring.
Yeah,
and
I don't care. I mean, it's boring until August. The end of August. That's when it gets.
I'm just saying the game itself, is a boring game. Like there's no dunks, there's no this, there's no that. So when you guys,
the baseball playoff game is exciting.
Well, yeah, baseball playoffs are fantastic.
Yeah.
But when you got these guys trade in the home, they have the Phillies have the home run hat. But in San Diego, they got the home run chain.
Like the chain.
The chain is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those are the things those bring excitement to baseball. And I want to see more of it. And please think. And the last thing when it comes to baseball too is this stupid runner on second base. This is not Little League. I hate that rule.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So in extra innings now, the teams start with a runner on second base to try to speed up the game.
That's whack.
It is, and it's not speeding up the game because 90% of the time, both teams are scoring a run, and no, it's
That's
still
whack.
it is.
I mean, that takes away all the. I guess it just puts more pressure a little bit, but it takes away those games like the Aaron Boone home run. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It
The
takes
walk
away those.
exactly.
It takes away those.
Yeah,
games,
because now
somewhat because you can still have it.
it does.
Do you think is this a rule that they're trying to keep going forward, or was this more of a rule
Test run or
to
something.
save the arms because of how condensed the season is?
Yeah, there's no.
Okay.
It is. There's no
Did they
set in stone that's going to go on next season. And then like I said, I do.
This is the first year for it. Then.
Yeah, and then the same with the 7-inning doubleheaders.
I don't like that because I think that compromises that you're playing a different game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It absolutely does. And it kind of, I think it takes the legitimacy away from it.
Yeah.
So I think the one thing I always say about too is, and maybe this is funny. Remember back in the day, if there was a doubleheader, you could buy a ticket and stay for both.
Yeah.
Now they kick you out, and you got to bring another group back in.
Oh yeah.
No, the buy one get two needs to go
We
back.
gotta do that so we can pay Realmuto.
That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
So
Speaking of baseball, I sent y'all this, and only because David Cone, I call him Conehead. That was my favorite Yankee pitcher. It might have been one of
David
my
going
favorite.
perfect game.
Yeah, but he was like one of my perfect. Like when I used to, because I was a pitcher, I used to try to emulate Conehead. I like Cone. Cone was tough. From the Mets to the Yankees to the Blue Jays, he was tough, man.
Blue Jays. I couldn't think of what the other team.
Blue Jays.
yeah,
He was tough,
good point.
man. He was
I hate
tough.
the Blue Jays.
He was tough though. I thought he won a ring with them. He might have. Did he win a ring with them?
I want to say he was on the I don't know if he was on both teams, but I know he was. I mean, look, I want to say he was on like the 92 teams. I don't remember him
Okay.
facing the Phillies in 93. So
Okay, but Cone had. But the same day he threw that perfect game, something else happened. My other favorite Yankee pitcher, which was probably my all-time favorite Yankee pitcher, which was Ron Guidry. Ron Guidry was tough. So I like good pitchers. You know what I'm saying? I used to like Dwight Gooden too. Sid Fernandez. You know all these Mets,
Sid Fernandez.
all these Mets and Yankees. You know what I'm saying? Products, man. So I miss baseball. I miss baseball like that. I'm not sure if it's changed that much or maybe I just changed. You know what I'm saying? But I used to really love baseball. Especially, hot summer nights. My grandfather, rest in peace, he'd be in that living room with that TV loud as shit because he couldn't, he had a hearing aid. So that shit you would hear that shit from outside, and it'd be the Yankees on Channel 11 with Phil Rizzuto. Holy cow! And it'd be hot as shit in the house. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking to my uncles about that. How come when we was growing up and it'd be hot as hell outside, we had the window open
all the time. I remember.
Let the heat in, man.
No, I remember you'd have my mom. She had the oven on and the window open.
Yeah, the window open.
Like, Mom, it's dying in here.
Shit.
Oh, it's not. My dad it's not too bad.
Right.
As he's sitting there, his V-neck undershirt crinkled from the sweat.
Right. And it's like, yo, you know what I mean? And like, we had no central air back then. Like I have central air now and I love it. But and sometimes I'm like, damn, that shit is turning on again. Damn.
Oh yeah. Every time you hear,
like
they might as well just put like the money
just
set
stay
every time.
on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, every time it turns on, you hear like,
oh my gosh,
You
this
cringe.
thing is, each time, man. So it's all good though. But yeah, I'm you know what? Baseball. I think I might go up to the stadium. I'm thinking about that because those are, to see the Phillies and the Yankees or whatever. I'm gonna see how the Yankees avenge them because they got spanked down here. So we see how they do.
They did. Cone started the season with the Blue Jays in '92, but that's when he went to the Mets in the middle of that season.
He went back to the Mets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I went back to the Mets.
So
okay.
Yeah, so he didn't. So I guess technically he got a ring because if you're on the roster at any time, you get a ring.
Cone could pitch, man. I seen them when the first year they did the Subway Series, man. They had 20 strikeouts. He could pitch, man.
Oh yeah,
he could pitch, man.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? If you that rule of like if you're on the roster at any time, you get a ring.
That's all good.
But I'm just saying, like if you're, let's say you were 2 games in the season, you were with the team that won the World Series, and then you were let go.
That's in every sport.
I'm just saying, how do you feel about that? Like, do you go get your ring?
It came up actually talking about the NBA. Torrey Craig started the season on Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So he's getting a ring either way, supposedly. I didn't realize this.
Wow.
It's not a rule. It's the team's choice of who they give a ring to.
Right.
So most teams give a ring to whoever was on their roster at any point during the season.
They were part of the magic.
I think it's just whoever else. So, they're giving people's boys.
They were part of the magic.
It just varies. It varies on, I think, to what level of ring they get.
It's just interesting that, I didn't realize that it was like, I thought it was just like a rule, but it's really up to the team. So if the team doesn't want to do it, no, you ain't getting it.
Part of the magic. I guess, all part of the magic. I was watching this movie. What was that? Is that Semi-Pro?
Which one?
With Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell?
Yes. I was watching Semi-Pro. I think I was on a train on the Amtrak. I was watching it. And what was Woody? What's my man's name? Billy Hoyle. What's his name?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Right. He got a ring in that movie.
Yeah.
I think he had a ring, right?
Yeah.
They was teasing him for it, though. You know what I'm saying? So, listen. If you part of the magic, you just part of the magic. It's all good.
No, listen, and like I said, it all depends on how you were doing because, if you were doing off-season workouts, things like that, you still contributed to the success of the team.
No, I thought I read something that I thought I was going to write it down too. But is Cole Hamels on the move again?
But he's trying to make a comeback. He had a showcase Friday to
Why don't you bring him back to Philly?
To be honest with you, at this point, you have junk being thrown out there with Matt Moore and Chase Anderson anyway. If you're going to throw that out there, you might as well bring Cole back.
Right.
You might as well.
How was the showcase?
He said he was throwing like 91, 92.
Okay.
No, but I think that's a move too that would just electrify the crowd because the first game he starts sold out. sold out. Just people have to remember, if they were to sign him back, we're not signing 2008 Cole Hamels. We're signing 2021 Cole Hamels.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still. I mean, that's one of the things you could still be effective. I think him and
at this point, I mean, look at like a Jamie Moyer was effective.
Right.
He's a pro. Like, he's a professional.
Right, so he knows what to do.
He's not just out there throwing.
No,
Right,
I could throw him out there at any point and say, okay,
Give me a game.
give me a game, give me 5
Give me
innings.
5 innings. That's
Yeah.
all you need.
Give me 5 innings, and now, I would almost feel more confident. My other boy too, Nola.
Nola's your ace.
No, he's not. Zach Wheeler's your ace, but
Nola's your ace.
No,
I mean,
he's not.
listen, he
No,
may
he's
be struggling, but he's your ace.
he's not. Game 1 of the playoffs is being started by Zach Wheeler. That is your ace.
You can start. Listen, Yankees would start Severino's ass. Okay.
Yeah, but
So
that's
what?
when.
But they knew when it mattered, you was putting in either Pettit or whoever else was on that staff at that time. That's the game you needed.
Yeah, but
You needed him.
if you get me one, like if the Phillies say they win a division and they're stuck in the 1-game playoff to get in,
Let's go Aaron
I
Nola.
want Zach Wheeler on the mound.
I want Aaron Nola.
So I want Zach Wheeler
That's
on the
what we'll
mound.
disagree.
But it's all right.
It's all right.
But listen, I mean, this is.
Bums anyway.
I mean, look, they're not. They're 500 team.
Bums.
But we'll see what happens.
So-
But listen, this has been a great show. And it's been great to get back on the mic, back
It
with
is,
you
man.
guys in the studio.
It is.
Like we always do with the final thoughts. I'm gonna throw it over to Coach. What's your thoughts as we close out the show
Well,
tonight?
one thing I didn't bring up when we were talking about Ohtani, he hit a ground ball to the first baseman and beat it out. Like that's different.
Face of the league.
That's different.
Face of the league.
So I
man.
definitely wanted to give him a shout out for that.
Absolutely.
But,
Damn.
He's
it
incredible.
was like
Damn.
it just didn't make sense. Like, and it wasn't like a little dribbler. Like, it was a hard hit ball. He just beat
He's
it.
fast as shit.
He's incredible.
Like,
Wow. Is that the one that pitches and hits and does everything?
Yeah.
so wait, Randy,
Damn.
he was the starting pitcher for the All-Star game
Mhm.
and the DH.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Official. That's why he has to be the face.
That's awesome.
No, and I don't. I don't
Who's done
disagree.
that before? Has anybody done that?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Oh, you did it?
Babe Ruth.
Okay.
Babe Ruth. So
There's footage of it too?
I have to go back and
Right,
check.
that's what I'm saying.
The archives
Right.
of YouTube.
Right. It's
So-
all good.
So yeah, I mean, but no, I'm excited for the end of this NBA season. I think I'm more excited for the draft. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff happening around the draft. So, just looking forward to that and go Phillies.
I like that.
Oh, gosh.
I like that.
Because listen, the father loves his daughter. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
It's all good.
He's a
Man.
smart man. I mean, look,
Oh, good.
I love you. If you want to come over and you want to root for us, I'll get you a hat.
I have
Nice
no.
one.
Listen, I used to rock a Phillies
I
hat
know
all
you
the
do.
time.
I know.
I mean, I'm
The
saying
powder blue or the maroon. The maroon hat is my
Not the
favorite.
maroon, the,
Maroon.
With the P. That's
Yeah,
dope.
that still
That's
is my
dope.
favorite.
You know what I'm saying? And I even had like a Phillies shirt. I had a Phillies jersey.
I remember seeing it. I think there's
Phillies
pictures. Of
jersey. I mean, I had a gray Phillies jersey that was part of my my weekend wear. You know what I'm saying? But it's because Marshalls had it on sale. You can get it for like $20.
I'm not mad about it.
That's all good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, listen, I can root for the Phillies. I can root for the Eagles now too. Yeah, listen, you know what?
I knew we were going there.
Well, I mean, I was gonna go there. What the hell did you put it up for? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You put
I had to. I absolutely had to.
listen, that was his last goodbye to
Yes.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's absolutely. I mean, I did, and I was going to bring it up in my final thought. I was
I'm
like,
surprised you didn't go out there.
you
You
know,
know, what I'm saying?
no, you take me, not the banner.
But it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. You know what I mean? But no, listen. I guess my final thought is I'm hoping that I'm hoping to see the Bucks close out because they played a very good game. I mean, I haven't been that excited since the LeBron dunk. I'm sorry, the LeBron block and the Kyrie 3. Now, I was a little turned, you know what I'm saying? But still, that was a great play. I mean, I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, oh shit, damn, you know what I'm saying? But so I'm hoping that the Bucks win or whatever. Other than that, I'm hoping for a great week. Still more relaxation, still more family time. We got some little day trips. I want to do the beach. coming up soon. You know, but once you go to Florida, it's like I want to go to Florida Beach. I want to go to.
I mean, yeah.
Off that Ocean City Bridge.
What's Ocean City?
Yeah, did you see about that?
A plane landed on it.
Plane had to land on it. It was wild.
Emergency.
Actually, it was an amazing feat.
Yeah,
It was an 18-year-old pilot. You know the planes that fly the banners over the beach?
Yeah.
He had to make an emergency landing. You know the little bridge that goes from Summers Point to Ocean City?
Yeah.
He had to land the plane on that bridge.
Wow.
Incredible.
Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And watch out for sharks because they're right off the edge.
And Ocean City.
Yeah, right in the ocean there, all along the beach.
Yeah. See, I don't even want to go.
I don't go that deep anyway.
I don't either. I mean, let's just put my feet wet. That's it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I do my grandfather used to do now. I put,
What the hell do you do then? You just sit out there in the sun?
Yeah. I mean, usually have a couple beverages. You like.
Well, yeah. I was just talking to another friend of mine. Like, what the hell do I bring out there? I think I went one time and I didn't bring nothing, but just But maybe that's because people when I was a kid and people used to bring it for me. Or when we was going to the beach, we used to go to Long Beach or whatever. We walking with a girl or something like that, trying to get busy or something like that out there with a towel or something. But what do you
under the bowl?
Right? No, seriously. But what do you bring? What do you bring? Like an umbrella, right? You need an umbrella, right?
Yeah. You know what's even best now, and I can send you. They have the nice like not blanket mats that are like the sand resistant and water resistant, and then those are nice.
Really?
Those are nice to bring.
So yeah, so we do some day trips, some beach stuff, and
you got to bring those twisted teas too.
Nah, something about drinking. Well, that's not bad, but something about drinking in sun, it just don't do right.
But you're right. And once you go down to the beaches, down there, it's like you don't want to go to the Jersey Shore. You don't want to go to the Jersey Shore.
I mean, it's all good though. But I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, no, just just trying to enjoy my break, man. Trying to do some projects around the house, and that's about it, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the same thing. Obviously, I'm going to be all in on my Phillies, and I'm hoping for a move. But with the team, I think so too. Like I said, they got to make a move. You got to make that push. If they make a push, they get somebody. They get the pitching, the outfield, or whatever they need. And then, let's say they don't make it, I'll still be okay because they made that move.
Sure.
But I feel like, everybody knows they can't just stand pat because as they are right now, they can't make the playoffs. So we'll see.
They suck though.
They are. The shout out to, we got training camp opening up next week. So
for, the Eagles?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I heard something about Devonta Smith. He got some award. I saw this last week or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Right, but Hurts and him are going to be tough. I'm going to root for them. Shout out Mr. D, though. We got to get Mr. D back on the show, man. He's excited, and we were talking about the Eagles, briefly or whatever. So, I'm rooting for him. Rooting for that young man. Man.
If you, like I said this before, if you're not rooting for Jalen Hurts, I don't understand you. Like right now, root for what's there.
I'm gonna hold you to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna root against him. And the kid's got a clean slate to me. I have nothing, and I've said this before. I
didn't say one more. Okay. He didn't say nothing.
I'm saying he's got a clean slate. I got nothing against Jalen Hurts. I got nothing against Sirianni. I'm just sitting back. And I got no expectations. I'm just going to cheer them on and see what happens. So
we gonna remember this shit.
I agree with everything you said. I believe everything you said. So you said you have no expectations
right?
Because week one you're gonna become. We gotta do this.
That's gonna happen.
I know that there's going to be growing pains on both parts, but if people are sitting here rooting against Sirianni or rooting against Jalen Hurts, I don't understand that. People are like, I hope he, why? I mean, the kid did nothing wrong. He's done nothing good. He's been a winner everywhere he went. Maybe he'll continue that trend.
Well, I mean, you say he's average at best. That's what I think that was your statement that you said. You said, yeah, it's average at best.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't.
But you were still in love with Carson. So you were blind.
Right, like I said, you're right. It was like trying to be in a new relationship and still loving your ex. So I mean,
are you gonna root for Carson?
No, he's dead to me.
So you hope he doesn't do well?
I don't care what he does. I actually hope he does well because that benefits the Eagles. Because if the Colts make the playoff, that benefits the Eagles' draft position for next season.
Okay.
So,
but I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that what he just said. he said that he doesn't care. He's dead to him because, of course, earlier today, he put a post out there.
I had to though because with all of what I've said,
You know what I'm saying? Listen, he's okay. He's right. Randy's lying again. Yes, he is lying again. Right.
I don't know who said that.
Shay. Yeah.
Well,
he
anyway,
is. It's all good. It's all good. Listen. You know what I mean? When did that start? Next week?
yeah, next week.
Next Monday?
I'm not sure if it's Monday, Tuesday, but I know that workouts are next week.
I don't think Sirianni lasts a year.
No, that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He sounds so shouldn't belong in the league. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, that might be premature.
we'll see.
I'm just going by the first press conference.
Oh yeah, oof. Yeah.
First impressions are everything.
They are.
They're hard to change.
We'll see what happens.
Easy to start, but hard to change. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. We'll see what happens come start of the season. All right. Well, with that said, we appreciate you guys tuning in, watching Let's Get It. We'll be back more consistently. Again, you can catch us on YouTube, the Four Walls Foundation page, always on Facebook, posting. Let us hear your opinions on different things. We're getting some guests back on for Coach Marcus Bullock, for Jason Bryce. Excuse me. I'm Randy Duckin.
Bryce, man, say the name.
The Bryce is right.
Right.
I'm Randy Duckin. Thanks for watching.